Welcome, dear listener. Take a deep breath in and a slow breath out. Let your shoulders drop, your muscles soften, and your thoughts drift away, like leaves floating gently down a quiet stream. Tonight is for rest, for a warm blanket, a pillow that feels like a hug, and a story that lulls you into calm, just like the whisper of rain against your window. My name is Arena, and I'm so glad to be with you on this quiet night. Together, we'll visit a little coastal town nestled between rolling hills and sea mist, where a cozy bakery with a colorful door stands waiting. There lives Maya, a kind and dreamy baker whose treats seem to heal not just hunger, but the heart itself. We'll hear 4 of her stories tonight: pumpkin pie and morning tea, baked apples in a storm, the first snow cookie celebration, and fudge in the fog. Each one was written just for this evening, with warmth, care, and a touch of magic. And while the rain taps softly outside, allow yourself simply to be. No need to think about tomorrow. No need to return to yesterday's worries. Just lie here, breathe, listen, and let every word carry you deeper into peace, into stillness, into sleep. Pumpkin pie and morning tea. Rain taps softly against the window, quietly, steadily, like someone turning the pages of an old book. Maya lies beneath a warm blanket, listening to the sound. She hasn't opened her eyes yet, but she already feels the morning gently brushing against her awareness, not rushing, not demanding, just offering. It's time. She takes a deep breath in. The air in the room is cool, but the blanket feels like a cloud, woven from wool and sunlight. Maya smiles through her drowsiness. Today is pumpkin pie day. She stretches first her toes, then her arms, as if unfolding wings after a long winter. Outside, the world is grey, but not gloomy. Quite the opposite. Everything feels soft, muffled, as if the whole town has slipped into flannel pajamas and decided not to hurry. Maya gets up, her bare feet finding her slippers fluffy ones with embroidered leaves. In the kitchen, she brews tea, loose leaf black, with the hints of bergamot and a pinch of dried orange zest. Steam curls above the cup like a tiny dragon. She adds just a splash of milk, not for flavor, but for ritual. The white stream swirls slowly into the dark depths, and Maya watches it like a sunset. Cup in hand, she steps to the window. The house across the street is still asleep. Only Mr. Henderson's old cat sits on the sill, curled into a ball, dreaming, it seems, of summer butterflies. Maya gives him a quiet wave. The cat doesn't respond, but she knows he sees her. She dresses slowly, a cinnamon-colored sweater, wool socks, and a scarf knitted by a friend last winter. And of course, her umbrella bright yellow, with sunflowers stitched along the edge. It doesn't just shield her from the rain, it's a little sun she carries with her. On the walk to the bakery, Maya steps carefully around puddles. The street is empty, except for a postman in rubber boots and a crow strutting along a rooftop like it owns the sky. The air smells of wet earth, fallen leaves, and distant wood smoke. Someone's already lit their stove. When she rounds the corner, her bakery emerges from the mist like a ship in harbour. The door isn't just wood, it's a canvas, swirls of gold, crimson, ochre, and sea foam painted by her own hands 7 years ago on the very first day she opened. Back then, she'd worried no one would come. Now everyone knows her by name. She opens the door. Inside, silence, but not emptiness. The air carries the scent of yesterday's bread, toasted almonds, and warm milk. It smells like home. First, she lights the oven. It hums to life, like a heart waking from sleep. Maya pulls out a real pumpkin grown on the farm beyond the hills. Its skin is rough, its flesh deep orange, sweet as autumn itself. While the pumpkin roasts, she prepares the crust. Crushed oat cookies, butter, a touch of brown sugar, and a drop of vanilla. Kneading the mixture is meditation. Press, crumble, spread, and thoughts drift away like smoke into the sky. The kitchen fills with the warm, spiced perfume of pumpkin cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, a whisper of star anise. She adds eggs, cream, a pinch of salt, and a splash of lemon juice to keep the sweetness bright, alive like a crisp fall breeze. Just then, the door creaks open. "Guess what's for breakfast?" says Mr. Henderson, stepping in with his cane and a familiar smile. He comes every morning, sometimes for coffee, sometimes just to see the day begin. "Pumpkin pie," Maya replies without turning. "How do you always know?" He chuckles. "Because autumn without pumpkin pie," she says, setting a steaming cup before him, "is like morning without tea." They sit by the fogged window. Outside rain. Inside warmth, light, and a scent that whispers, "Everything is all right." When the pie is ready, Maya cuts 2 slices. On top, a spoonful of honey-sweetened whipped cream. The first bite melts on the tongue-spiced, rich, comforting. The crust crumbles like dry leaves underfoot. "Perfect," Mr. Henderson murmurs. "Almost," Maya smiles. "But today, close enough." She glances around at the bookshelf filled with well-loved paperbacks. The children's rocking chair scratched with tiny hands, the fairy lights glowing even in daylight. This isn't just a bakery. It's a place where time slows, where rain isn't a nuisance, it's part of the comfort, where pumpkin pie isn't dessert, it's love baked into a dish.
The wind rattles the window, not gently like rain, but insistently, as if it's trying to tell her something important. Maya lies beneath her blanket, listening as it whips leaves down the street, slams shutters on neighboring houses, and whispers through the chimney pipes. Today isn't just a rainy day. Today is a storm. And on days like this, Maya feels a quiet urge to do something unexpected, something unplanned, unscripted, something that answers only to the rhythm of her heart. She gets up without checking the clock. In the kitchen, she brews tea, not her usual morning blend, but an herbal one, lemon balm, ginger, and a spoonful of honey. Steam spirals upward, and Maya watches it until her thoughts grow as clear as glass. She walks to the bookshelf and pulls out a well-worn notebook, her grandmother's, filled with recipes in faded ink. The pages smell of cinnamon and dried apples. Scrawled in the margin in pencil, "For blustery days, baked apples. They warm the soul better than any blanket." Maya smiles. Today is their day. She chooses apples, firm, tart sweet, with sunset-colored skins. Carefully, she cores each one, leaving the fruit whole like a little vessel for magic. The filling, rolled oats, grated ginger, cinnamon, a pinch of nutmeg, honey, and a handful of chopped walnuts, finely diced like promises. While the apples bake, Maya dresses a chunky sweater, wool socks, a scarf with tassels. And she steps outside without an umbrella. The wind immediately tugs at her hair, but she laughs. Let the storm know she isn't afraid. On her way to the bakery, she nearly runs, not from the cold, but from anticipation. But halfway there, her old umbrella, which she'd grabbed just in case, flips inside out with a loud pop. Maya stops, looks at it, and laughs even harder. Well, she says to the wind, you win today. When she bursts into the bakery, damp and windswept, the first thing she does is turn on the oven and drape her wet scarf over a chair. The scent of apples is already seeping from the oven, warm, spiced, with a hint of caramel. Just then the door opens. In walks Rosa, her friend, the florist from Magnolia Street. I had a feeling you'd need company, she says, wiping rain from her cheeks. Or at least someone to share these apples with. They sit by the window as the storm rages outside. Maya pulls the apples from the oven, golden, tender, bubbling with caramel at the edges. On top, a dollop of whipped cream and a drizzle of homemade caramel. Remember how we used to build blanket forts as kids? Rose asks. Yes, Maya replies. And we thought that if we hid inside, the whole world would go quiet. They eat in silence. Outside, chaos. Inside, warmth, laughter, and the scent of cinnamon. And in that moment, Maya realizes sometimes the bravest thing you can do is let yourself be cozy,